let's do a toasted bourbon blind between these two bottles that I started out not liking so much, but now starting to like them a little bit more. In this corner, the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel Bourbon, 94 proof. And in this corner, the Whistle Pig Snout to Tail Bourbon, also toasted, 88 proof. This is actually a very, very good comparison. A lot more similarities than I had thought originally. Again, the proof is, on the lower side. Certainly this one, 88 proof, 94 proof, very similar. Age is actually more similar than I actually realized. This clearly is a 10-year age statement. It says it right there. Elijah Craig, which would fool you because it still has some age to it, even though it lost its age statement some time ago. The small batch, I think, a long time ago used to have a 12-year age statement. Since it was removed, it generally says the age. It's not age stated, but it's officially somewhere between 8 and 12 years. I think it's probably on the lower side of that. If it's 8 to 12 years, I would safely say call this, 8 to 9 years old. Very close in age anyway. The finishing process, both of these have a toasted finishing process. The Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel is put into a second new charred oak barrel. So, obviously it maintains its status as a bourbon. And it is a custom toasted new oak barrel made with, I think it's 18-month air-dried oak, which is a moderate toast. And then this one is a very interesting finishing process. It's 2 toasted barrel heads for the finishing. One end of it, which is the snout end, is a medium toast. And then the other end, which is a tail, is a smoked maple wood toast. And of course, when it's finished, the people at Whistle Pig will flip it 180 so that both barrel ends have an influence in the toasting process. So this is going to have 2 types of toast. It's going to have one. The thing is, originally I bought this bottle the first time. Really wasn't that thrilled with it, but at the end of it, I started to like it more. Now I've got this again. I like it a little bit more. Still don't think it's great, but a little bit better. And then this one I just, didn't like originally. I'm maybe a little bit more. Problem is I was comparing this one to that Nulu small batch toasted that just was phenomenal and a really good price. I don't think either one of these are as good as that, but we'll compare these for what they are. I think price-wise, this is about $54, and this was like $79. I definitely think, even though with that whole process, I think this may be a little bit overpriced. This maybe less so, but I think this is a little on the high side. Let's get these in glasses. Let's pour them up, mix them up, and get started. Okay, so we have these poured up, mixed up. Have no idea which is which. As always, I will look straight ahead, not to the bottom. I don't want to see a difference in color. Although I didn't notice anything dramatic in color when I poured these guys up. But I don't want to look at the labels on the bottom. So we are going to get started again, looking straight ahead. Give each one a nose. Okay. Really kind of hard to decipher a difference. It's just amazing, when you do these blinds, things get a lot more similar. Just as a segue, I had someone write a comment in one of these blinds like, "Oh, these two profiles are so different. You should know the difference right away." And I wrote back very simply, the difference. Even when you're doing something straight up, you look at the labels, or you're not doing it as a blind. There may be things that seem obvious that you should automatically know, and but when you put them in a blind together without the labels and any mental preferences taken out of the picture, things are a lot more similar than you would realize. So it's not quite as obvious sometimes as you might think, even for something with the profiles what you think might be totally different. So okay. This is kind of hard to decipher. It's kind of similar, but let me go right into the taste. Cheers. Okay, cheers. Okay. One more time. All right. I'm getting a deeper toasted taste on this one. And it's funny because last time when I compared it to the noodle, that just had such a deep maple taste. But between these two, I'm getting, I'm pointing to this bottle. I don't know what's in here, but I'm getting more of a maple, more of a toasted taste in this one. And this one, I'm getting, and the reason I'm pointing to this one, because I have a feeling that it is in this order, just my own guess, but we'll see if I'm right. I'm getting maybe less toast and a little bit of rye spice. Now that would make sense because the Elijah Craig, for sure, I'm sure it has a relatively low rye, amount in here. And Whistle Pig, certainly, even though I don't know the mash bill, certainly known for their rye. I'm pretty sure that this has a higher rye mash bill. So let me do this one more time. I'm going to say that this one is the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel, and I'm going to say this is the one I prefer. Yep, for sure. Okay, so this one actually, in terms of what I said, before, things should be obvious. This one actually was a little bit more, but that's only because in order for it to be obvious, sometimes the differences have to be a little bit more significant. When things are closer, even if you think two have totally different profiles, but close, things are a lot closer in a blend. In this particular one, this was a little easier. The well, I'll say first of all, why I like this better is the toast is the richer flavor of the two of them for sure. And I remember when I did this against the Newell, I thought this was a rather weak, relatively weak toasted flavor compared to the other one, and very surprisingly, with two toasted barrel heads, a medium toast and especially the smoked maple, I just thought there'd be a lot more here. Now, also, I think that this would be a lot better at a higher proof. This is 88 proof. And I know for a fact that, although I don't know the toasted, I know the Elijah Craig at a barrel proof is fantastic. Just on a side note on that one, I saw one post on something where there was an Elijah Craig toasted barrel, and it was a private barrel, and it was barrel proof. Those are something I have not seen anywhere. A toasted barrel proof, more so a private barrel. That's something I would want to see. But in any event, so you have more rye here, and you also have a weaker toast here. And I would expect a lot more given the snout to tail process. This one, definitely, aside from 4 proof points higher, definitely a deeper toast. So while it wasn't, as deep as some other noted toasted bottles that I've had, this one clearly is, to me, is better than this one. Probably close in age, about $20 less in price. So that's sort of the verdict on this one. And for this battle, the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel small batch at 94 proof is definitely the winner. And the difference also is that this is something that I could see, getting again, while this one is definitely something I'm not, certainly at this price point. Cheers. Take care.